Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that I think many of us can relate to: perfectionism. Now, before we get started, I want you to take a moment and think about which type of perfectionism you might belong to. It's fascinating how this concept can manifest in so many different ways. So, let's break it down. First off, we have physical perfectionism. This is the belief that you must have a perfect appearance to be attractive. I mean, think about it though. Many times have we scrolled through social media and felt that pressure to look a certain way? It's like we're all competing in this never-ending beauty pageant, right?
Oh, wow, that's so relatable. I mean, I've definitely felt that pressure to look perfect, especially on social media. It's like, do you think that's why so many people struggle with self-esteem these days? And, like, what's the deal with emotional perfectionism? I mean, feeling shame about negative emotions? That sounds intense.
Absolutely. Emotional perfectionism can be really tough. It's like we're conditioned to think that we should always be happy and in control. But the truth is, negative emotions are part of being human. I once read about a study where they found that people who embrace their negative feelings actually end up being happier in the long run. It's like, if you're always trying to suppress those feelings, they just bubble up and explode at some point, right? And then we have self-esteem perfectionism, which is when you feel inferior in the presence of those who seem more successful or attractive. I mean, I've been there too. You walk into a room and you see someone who just seems to have it all together, and suddenly you feel like a total mess. It's a slippery slope, for sure.
Oh my gosh, yes, I can totally relate to that. It's like, I remember this one time I went to a networking event and everyone was talking about their amazing accomplishments and I just felt so small. It's like, how do you even deal with that? Do you just avoid those situations altogether?
That's a great question. Avoiding those situations might seem tempting, but it's not really a solution. Instead, it's about reframing how you view those interactions. Think of it like a buffet. Everyone has their own unique dish to bring to the table. Just because someone else's dish looks fancy doesn't mean yours isn't delicious in its own right.
That's such a cool analogy. I love the buffet idea. But what about interpersonal perfectionism? Like, I feel this pressure to have flawless relationships. Is that normal?
Great point! Interpersonal perfectionism is the need to maintain flawless relationships. I mean, who hasn't felt that pressure? It's like, if you have a disagreement with a friend, you start to think, oh no, this is the end of our friendship. But relationships are messy, and that's what makes them real.
Right. And what about cleanliness perfectionism? I can be a bit of a neat freak sometimes. Like, I can't stand it when my room is messy. Is that a bad thing?
Not necessarily. Cleanliness perfectionism can be a double-edged sword. It's great to have a tidy space, but if it becomes an obsession, it can lead to anxiety. I once knew someone who would spend hours cleaning their apartment before inviting friends over, and it just took away from the joy of being together. It's all about balance, you know?
That makes so much sense. So, how do you even start to overcome perfectionism? It sounds like a big task.
So, to overcome perfectionism, one effective method is to learn to make mistakes. Embrace the idea that mistakes are part of learning. I mean, think about how we learn to ride a bike. Falling is just part of the process. Another approach is to focus on your achievements rather than shortcomings. You can use a counter to track positive actions daily, helping shift your focus to the good in your life.
Wow, that's such a cool idea. I've never thought about tracking positive actions. It's like a gratitude journal, but with a twist. Do you think that could really help people shift their mindset?
Absolutely. It's all about creating a habit of recognizing the good. Ultimately, we should strive to be complete individuals rather than perfect ones. Life is about balance, embracing both strengths and weaknesses. Psychology aims to help you become a complete person, not a flawless one. So, let's celebrate our imperfections, shall we?
Haha, yes, let's do that. I mean, who knew imperfection could be so liberating? I'm excited to start embracing my flaws.